So this is a very fun picture because it reminds me of a time when I was introduced indirectly to a new world. Well, actually, the same world, a different sector. And what I mean by that was it's still community engagement, but it's focusing on real estate development, urban core development. And so the individual standing next to me is the council member who respectfully I happened to run against, and that's how we met. And when the council member and another candidate made it to the runoff, the soon-to-be council member, who I didn't know, we didn't know would be council member at that time, called me up and said, "Hey, Donovan, I like your zeal, I like your pizzazz, I like what you're looking to do for young folks to get them engaged. And if I happen to earn or win the election seat, I want you to work next to me. One of the ways that you're able to do that is by becoming an executive, taking my seat, possibly got to get elected, but possibly taking my seat as the elected, or as the committee member. Let's say that correctly. It's been a minute. It's elected committee member for your district for a political party." I'll say that again. You have an opportunity to take my seat as the committee member of a district to represent a political party in the community. So basically, you'll be this committee member for this political party at the county level in the same district that you campaigned in. And the thing is, we'll be working together so we can have an opportunity to learn and grow together. And so in this particular case, it was a news release, a press release statement in regards to a development that was happening off of the riverfront. And because, again, I've had the opportunity on the Civic side to work directly with the council member and experience what he went through, indirectly get understanding of the conversations and direction of conversations, and then assisting with community engagement at some point between community residents, the developers themselves, and the Civic side. So this was an early experience. This was one of the first times I dabbled into community engagement on urban core development, and from there I was able to work with a lot of other developers over the course of time with their community engagement, basically introducing their development, their project, hoping to get community buy-in, hoping to provide questions or answers to questions, build a strong, solid working relationship in which hopefully the community will buy into, buy into the development, in which the city council or board of aldermen, depending on your municipality, will then approve the development project. And so that was an experience. I learned about zoning, introduced to that, not in my backyard, things of that nature, and really get an understanding of how urban core development and community engagement work together. And so, like I said, there's a press release here, a couple news stations, and we're right there off the riverfront discussing, a multi-billion-dollar, development that could possibly happen. It didn't happen. And so real quick, what I can take from this experience, no matter what, you always have to be professional. No matter what, you want to provide customer service for someone that agrees with you or for someone that does not agree with you, especially in the work that I do, because ultimately society, when it comes to business, government, and community, is so broad, so wide. There's a lot of moving parts that eventually interlock, that it's about building and managing and maintaining relationships at the end of the day. And we're not perfect, we're growing. Think about, human beings, they say don't discuss civics or religion, but when you are dealing with civics and you're in that realm, you really have to have emotional intelligence, be professional as you can, be patient, and really be silent as best you can. I take that with me. And I will say, with the council member, that inspired me the most was, no matter in being an elected official, public official, in his case, he was, I think it was like 20,000 registered voters in his district, but a lot more that, weren't registered. So let's just say 30, 40,000 people, I don't know, in that district. Probably numbers are off. And you get a lot of opinions. You get a lot of emotions coming from people. And one thing I appreciated about the council member was he never talked bad about any of the constituents, about any of his neighbors. Was he frustrated? Yes. But ultimately, he always went back to, hey, let's pray for folks. Let's pray for myself for guidance. And I can genuinely say that's the situation. That's what it was. And so when people and maybe the media, whoever, voice their opinion, which obviously they have a right to do. Even in that time, the council member did not respond with, the same energy or defensiveness or whatever. He listened as best he could and how he knew how. And, at the end of the day, ultimately said, hey, these are my friends, these are my neighbors. Let's pray for folks. He was a minister as well, grew up in the church. And so it was a great experience. And let me know if you want to know more details about this conversation or about my experience with community engagement in the urban core development or real estate development sector.